Alright, trying out our alignment machine, testing this out. Okay, so clear. Yes. Okay, today we're going to be aligning the S-Class. We have our string alignment, which we set up. I just got this actually from BG Racing. Not affiliated, not sponsored, but we're going to do our own string alignment. We have our tables here, which has been leveled to the ground. So the front has some turntables. We're going to lower the car now on the tables. The S-Class has gone through major transformation. We've had this car for quite a few months already, and the owner is gracious enough to allow us to change everything underneath. Believe it or not, everything underneath and all the mods and everything else has cost the car way more than what the car value is. And I'm so happy that the owner allowed us to do this, because once this car leaves this garage, it's not going to come back for a long time. Everything underneath is technically brand new. There's only two things we didn't change: the differential mount bushings and then the rear subframe bushings, but everything else underneath brand new. So today we're going to do a string alignment so that hopefully by the end of today or tomorrow I am test driving this baby. For those of you who didn't know, string alignment is actually the fastest way to align something, and it's what we use for the racetrack. Oh, squeezing in. I should do a full build biology on this car, but this car also has a custom interior along with starlight sky effect. Battery is so weak. Need to bring the scanner so that we can check all this. So we're gonna connect to our fitment app so we can get a lowdown. This is the BT05, and then the rear has pressure. So gotta clear all this. We have a check engine light, we have an ABS light, we have an airbag fault, we have a handbrake fault. So front right hand side parking brake, owner manual. When it comes down to servicing these cars, there is a ton of things that you need to look at. These cars have so many modules that it is crazy. So far the compressor is not turning on. I'll wait for that to turn on so that we can set the ride height properly. For now, initially we're going to have to reset the height of the car. I'm going to get Norman to manually align the front just so that we can get the car to air down, and then I think we're going to raise the rear up, because when we air down, the fenders hit. So I don't want that in case the car runs out of air. So for now we're gonna eyeball it to make sure that this is straight. Looks good. It is almost 5 p.m. and we were gonna align the car, but we realized that the tires were hitting the fenders upon air down, so we decided to redo the ride height, and that's taken us the whole day, because when you're doing the ride height for air suspension, you have to bring it up, bring it out, bring it up, bring it down, and then test it, and then finally the rears are done. Norman's going to test the fronts, which means alignment's not going to happen today unless we go straight into overtime. So let me see what's going to happen. I need to set the ride height again because we adjusted the suspension height. Car just came down and we still need to raise the back, which means I'm not going to be able to do it. Norman's going to continue this project and we'll update you when this car is done. I'm excited to release this car and turn it over to the client also. So many things that I want to finish, but I need to finish the client projects before I work on my personal project, so we'll be back. Finally doing the S-Class again. We're doing a string alignment on the S-Class. Just checking the tire pressure to make sure it's even. So the tire pressure has to be all even. And then we have this beautiful string alignment kit from BG. Key essential here is that the string is sort of on the center of the hub. Our ride height has been set. The fitment boys came here and changed the rear bag so that we can get sort of a 2.5 finger rear. And then we set up the whole system. So just double checking the height right there, and then double checking the height. This is a tight 2 finger, so this is gonna work for us. We're gonna do a quick alignment and then hopefully road test this car today. So excited to finish this car already. How the string alignment works is in such a way, it squares out the body so that we can adjust the arms so that we can center the wheel to make sure that the wheel is facing forward. From this position, we're just going to measure the center hub here with a ruler just to make sure that we are square to the car, and then we can start measuring the points here and comparing it to the other side. So off the bat, I can see that the front tire is already towed out. So from this angle, we're gonna measure this point here and compare it to this point here. And I'll just use my finger as the starting point. And you can see already that the tire is aiming outward, meaning it is towed outward. Towed in is going in, towed out is going out. So what's going to happen is the car is going to be weird to drive. But first, we're going to start with the rear just to make sure everything is square. The ruler on the left side and the right side of the car should always be the same so that the unit of measures are the same, and then obviously the distance. So first off, I'm going to take a measurement here, and then Norman's going to be on the other side. We're going to call out the numbers just to make sure we are square. And even how you look at the string will be different, so you have to make sure that your eyes are fresh when you're doing this. That means we're not centered. The bar is not centered. So first we have to center the bar. So this is crucial that we get the same measurement. Norman's gonna proceed to go under the car and adjust the arm. By adjusting the arm, we can get the right data. So while he's adjusting, I will read to him so we know exactly how much more to go. Wala pa. Up. 3.5. Okay, hold. That looks good. 3.5. 3.5. Perfect. Sakto ah. Okay, while you tighten, I'll always check just in case gumalaw. Goods na yan. Okay, kabila tayo. The tricky part is the front steering because someone has to center the front steering. That's why when you go to the alignment rack, there's a steering lock, which we don't have. Having the turn plates is important, but removing these is also very important so that the front wheel can swivel properly. I don't have a camber tool now, so we were not able to measure the camber just yet. So it's crucial that someone will hold the steering wheel, because if you see, the steering wheel is way to the left, but the wheels look generally straight. So this is going to be a big problem. So we're going to get Ralph to sit inside while I order a steering lock system. That means all that angle that you see on the steering wheel have to be corrected by moving the tie rods completely to the right, which means this one's gonna become shorter and the other one has to be longer. Ikaw yung pang hold ng steering. We had to redo the rear because the string wasn't square, so we had to square off the string again, front and rear, and then redo the rear. So now we're going to do the front side. Ralph is in the driver's seat still. 2.6 and 2.9. 2.6 and 2.9. So I'll always read the front number. 0. Pantay tayo. Lock, please. Whew. This is a lot of work, but we're almost done. Batteries look charged, nice and grippy. Okay, lock. Okay na yan. Let's hope that's straight. Now it's time for a test drive. Norman ended up bleeding the brakes last Saturday. Now we're gonna go for our official test drive. All right. String alignment done. We're gonna bring it off the lifters ever since the rebuild. Alright, so the brakes are working. Have to check those first because we did bleed everything. We changed the whole braking system, changed all the suspension. Alright, quick car wash. But the ride height looks so good. Thanks so much to the boys at Fitment. Excited to drive this car. Gotta sort out a few more things. Battery sounds weak. There, parking brake. We have ABS light. I'll get the scanner tomorrow. Tire flat indicator. Okay. Maiden voyage. Just did the alignment and steering's off center. Just a little. Okay, so the steering still a little off center, but the car is not pulling. It's way off center. So the problem when Ralph was holding it, he probably was still a little tilted. But so far, everything is okay. Oh, the ABS light turned off. That's good. So the car actually learned something already. I don't know if this light is harsh, so we'll close that. And then we just have one airbag light left. Resetting everything, calibrating. So it says there's a malfunction on the cluster because we're running air suspension. So we need to fix the linkages to make it think it's in the standard ride height. Left-hand side malfunction of airbag. So it's the driver side malfunction. It possibly because we changed it. No, this looks original. So I don't think Nico and them changed this. MP3, if that's still a thing. Just tuning the ride. Because we're on air suspension, we removed the standard ABC suspension. You just want to see the ride. The problem with these cars, they're so heavy that you want to make sure they don't bottom out. And we can get some tire pressure TPMS sensors so that we can eliminate that light. So just 2 faults left for me to work on. Well, considering the steering is still right, 3 faults left for me to work on. But I'm pretty happy, and we'll go out for a longer test drive so that we can sort of bed the brakes in. When we're bedding in the brakes, it is making sure that the brake pad and the brake rotor surface both bind, because we changed everything. We changed the brake lines, the brake pads, the brake calipers, even the brake rotors. We're doing a highway test so that we can see if the car's running straight, which it is. Just the steering, need to align it one last time. Not bad for our first time to do an alignment. I'm also doing a bed brake test just to make sure that our brakes grip properly, and then also listening to all the suspension to see if anything's squeaking. So far we want to adjust the damping of the Brazos suspension so that we can make it a little more compliant. And then that's bad. I smell the outside air. Car is so slow, it's so heavy, but I'm just so happy that it's moving and get it out of our hair so that we can work on other projects. This car is so slow. It's an S350, which means it's only got a V6 for this huge body, but she moves. This car, when it got to us, it actually was barely running and it had been ignored for so long. I'm just happy that the owners decided to really reinvest in this car, because the value of this car is almost zero, and everything we've thrown at it, from the wheels, the body kit, the paint, the custom interior. We actually have Starlight on the interior. I don't know how to turn that on, but everything that we've done actually cost more than the base car, but it looks amazing. I do love how it looks, and we'll stop by here in Magallanes, get some beauty shots. Now we're gonna air it down and get some B-roll. So just found out that the cluster is telling us that there's so many more errors. The left side airbag, the right side airbag, the height sensor, and then the TPMS sensor, and then our headlights aren't working also. So our left and right headlights are not working. The left and right license plate lamps in the rear also not indicating. So stuff to check. The car for its era is still very smart, and it's giving us at least ways to figure out how else we can eliminate all the lights in the cluster. But so far we're heading back to the car shop now. We have ample data to work on already, so that the next time we bring the car out, hopefully everything would have been solved.